The cold season is here and long sleeves are trending, so in this video I'm going to show you how to customize your own rhinestone flannels for your clothing brand or for your personal use. This is going to be a step-by-step tutorial. We're going to make the actual transfer and then we're going to head over to the heat press and actually lay down the hot fix rhinestones. Everything you need in this video will be linked down below in the description, so you don't have to worry about trying to find everything. And if you have any questions during this whole process, leave it in the comment section and I'll make sure to get back to you. You can make a lot of money this winter season with all the rhinestone garments like the hoodies, flannels, all the long sleeve stuff. So lock in, grab all your supplies and start making them, or you're gonna miss out on a lot of money and you're gonna be really mad at yourself. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this video. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make our rhinestone transfers. So you see this blue vinyl looking material right here. This is called rhinestone flock. It's basically stencils, perfectly sized for rhinestones, so that way you can make as many transfers as you want. This material is super sticky, lasts a long time, and to actually get the stencil created with your logo or whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to need a vinyl cutter, and you're going to also need a rhinestone starter kit. So basically there's a few ways you get your design, and by the way, this process right here is broken down on my page a ton of times in super detail, so that way there's no steps that you're missing. In this video we're gonna kind of skim through it. I just want you to see how these flannels are made. But in the rhinestone starter kit, you're gonna have your rhinestone flock, transfer tape, scissors, tweezers, scraper, some hot fixed rhinestones, and it's also going to come with a brush tool. This is everything that you need to make the actual transfers. We're going to make the actual transfer with the stencil, but as far as making the stencil, you're just going to need the rhinestone starter kit, and then you're going to either need SVG files on my website, or you can also get custom SVG files. There's a few ways for you to be able to get your logo into an SVG file or into the stencil. So just either go on my page, check the link in the description. I left all my resources. But as far as making the actual stencil, you just need the rhinestone starter kit, your pre-made SVG file, whether it's the ones that are on my website where you can customize, or you get a custom one done by me. You can also get the actual transfers made by me as well. Like if you don't want to do, whoop, guess the battery died. Well, I'll just keep the video going instead of editing this part out. I'll change it in a second. But here, let's turn the ISO up. Boom, like nothing ever happened. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make the actual transfer. If you have any questions about this step right here, go ahead and leave it in the comment section and I'll make sure I get back to you. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make the rhinestone transfer so you can see how that is made. And then from there we will go to the heat press and actually get this transfer pressed. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna switch out this light so you guys have good lighting. And yeah, like I said, all the resources are down below, so that way you're able to make your own transfers. Let's get it. So this template right here is available on my website. So this exact flame, if you need it, the SVG file is ready. They are sized for SS10. SS10 is the most common rhinestone used. It's the most comfortable. In my opinion, I end up getting the best results when I use SS10. If you have like smaller, more intricate designs, you're gonna have to go down to like SS6, but most of the time I like to go with the SS10. So we're gonna just go ahead and add our rhinestones, and then we're gonna use the brush tool, then brush them in. And as you can see, most of them fall into place. The ones that don't fall into place, we're just gonna go back with the tweezers and just manually put them in. This part, just, you know, use the flick of the wrist. The first few times you make your transfer, it might be a little bit tedious, but I promise you, you will get better, and your wrist motion will, you know, get better, so that way you're able to make your transfer quicker. Because this part right here, a lot of people get intimidated by, or they think it's like super tedious. And also this rhinestone stencil right here, the material is really thick, and as long as you're taking care of it, you know, you're not like letting your dog eat it up like your homework or something, like it's gonna last you, and you're gonna be able to use this for like a couple years. Because I have some stencils that I've made that I've had for 2-3 years. that I'm still using and I'm still making money on. So, you know, like I said, if you go on my page, you're gonna see all the tutorials you need, breaking down in detail how to make these transfers, well, the stencils. So, you know, they are available to you, and this is going to be the best way for you to maximize your profits, is by making them yourself. Because it's, you know, right now I'm sure all of us are hustling. We got a lot of sweat equity, you know, to put in. So this is why the DIY way is going to be the best way for you to get these projects done. You know, that's why I made my page. That way you have the opportunity to not let something like a budget, you know, slow you down or anything of that nature. But yeah, we're just using the tweezers, and then once we're done here, we're gonna just add our transfer tape, and then once we add the tape, we can save it. It's good to go. But in this video, we're gonna head over to the heat press so we can actually get our flannel made. All right. All right. And if you have any questions so far, you know, leave it in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. It helps my channel out a lot. All of my tutorials are free. I don't sell courses. I don't sell ebooks. That stuff is for the birds, you know. So over here, we got that, you know, collaborative energy. You know, we're here to help each other. This is not a one-sided relationship, you know. We're here for each other, you know. So if you guys ever need anything, need any help, you know, like information, you know, tap in, and I always do my best to get back to you, you know. So all right, this part can be a little bit tricky. You have to be very careful. You kind of got like one shot at this. Just set it down. Boom, perfect. And then when I add the transfer tape, I like to press the sides down just so I can comfortably run over it with my brush tool, so that way all the stones are touching the tape. So when I lift the tape, it'll come up with it, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I do see 2 stones right here, so we're gonna lift this up. Where is it at? Boom, there is an extra one right here. Perfect. Okay. Alright, so now let's lift this up. We're gonna lift it slowly, so if any stones didn't get touched to the tape, we're able to fix that. But they all came up, so we're good to go. And let me find, one second, I gotta find the back piece. Man, I just had it. Oh man, that's the only thing that sucks about having a craft room, is it gets super unorganized. But we were able to find one, so boom, there we go. And there's our rhinestone transfer. Like I said, you know, you can save this for a while. You can tuck it, you know, if you're not going to make it right away. But in this case, we are going to go to the heat press. If you have any questions so far, leave it in the comment section. I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of the transfers, the other stencils that we had on the table. I'm going to go ahead and make those. And then I don't think I need to film that because you guys saw how I made this one. I don't want to waste your time and put a bunch of nonsense in the video. So I'm going to go start the heat press. And I will see you over there. Oh, before I forget, I do want to crop this flannel, mainly just to make it more trendy, you know. Customers really care about how stuff fits on their body at the moment, so I am gonna crop it just because, you know, people that care about their silhouettes, they're going to be more prone to want to buy it, you know, because it's going to be able to fit that baggy pants aesthetic right now. So I do have a curing mat underneath it. That way, you know, nothing happens to the table or anything. And I am using a fabric cutter. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to just cut it. you're gonna want to be careful during this part. I've definitely cut myself with the fabric cutter. Okay. I wish I had a bigger what's it called, curing mat, because I hate having to move it around. I wish I had a table that the whole thing was a curing mat. All right, I do crop my shirts also, and I also take my fabric cutter to pop-ups if somebody does need me to crop it, you know. All right, there we go. And then I'm probably gonna use my scissors just to clean up these little excess areas. But overall, this is perfect. And personally, I kind of do like when the cropped part is a little bit fringed. It just gives it that like distressed look, you know. So this is perfect. I'm really happy with how this came out. Now let's go over to the heat press. All right, so we set the heat press to 335 degrees. That's typically the temp that you're gonna want your heat press at. If you're using a household iron, it will work, but you might run across some issues just because, like, you know, it's really unreliable. And if you're selling these garments for a lot, which I'm going to be selling these flannels for probably around $250. No, probably like, I'm sorry, that's the hoodie I'm making. These are probably going to be about $125, but shoot, I might just go ahead and do 200 just because we decided what we charge, you know what I mean? That's one problem that I've been having, is trying to charge what I feel like I'm worth, and I'm working on it. And you know, that's something you and I can work on together. You know, we're making these pieces, so we need to be charging what we're worth, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and press this for about 15 seconds with heavy pressure, medium to heavy pressure, not too crazy. This is a Fancier Studio 16 by 24 with the pull-out drawer. It's about $309 on Amazon. It's definitely my favorite budget-friendly heat press. I've used this one for probably about 3 years or so, and I am extremely happy with this. So there we go. And this flame right here is a total of like 30 inches. That's why it's cut in half. I'm gonna have to make the other one and press the other half. Like I said, I did that just because it was about 30 inches. And with your Cricut, you typically can only cut up to about 23.5 inches. So there we go. I'm going to turn this around real quick. I do want to show you something. So I did already press the front. So right here it says well paid creator. I probably won't do letters again because it's the flannel so distracting you can't even see the letters, but I wanted to show you how I pressed this. So I did take the button off before I pressed it, and I laid this part over the button. So I did that to each button, so the button was underneath it, so that way the rhinestones would press without the button getting in the way. So that's how I was able to do this one. So if you run into that problem, just, you know, unbutton it, lay it on top, and then boom, there you're good to go. You can press it and you're not going to worry about like the button getting in the way of the rhinestone. So I'm going to go ahead and finish pressing this, and then we're going to go ahead and get more details so that way you can see how this ultimately ended up looking. But I am really excited with how this came out, especially the fact that we made this from the comfort of our bedroom, you know. So if you have any questions up to this point, leave it in the comment section, tap in on Instagram, follow the rest of my socials, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get a better angle of this so that way you can actually see how this came out. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you so much. You're the reason why I keep going. I'm really excited for you to be able to start making your own rhinestone projects, so if you happen to make anything, go ahead and send it over to me. I want to see what you made. Remember, everything you need is down below in the description, and don't forget to hit that subscribe. I upload videos every day to help you maximize your profits during this cold season. If you had any questions, leave it in the comment section, and I'll see you next video.